Hi everybody, this is Jeremy Cotman. I'm the lead crisis designer on Torment. I'm going to take you through the basics of a crisis, as well as just a few of the permutations you might encounter if you play through Alpha Systems Test C0 multiple times. Our primary goal with crises is to bring the same sense of reactivity and choice and consequence that is the hallmark of Torment dialogue into our turn-based gameplay. When a crisis kicks in, your goals aren't limited to bashing in the brains of your enemies. You can interact with objects in the environment, talk to the foes in an attempt to intimidate them, or even just run away. Since the antagonists in this scenario aren't sure who you are, you can even use conversation skills to deceive them, circumventing the conflict entirely. In each case, the NPCs react in a way that's consistent with their character, not just as trash mobs. Let's get started. In the crisis featured in C0, the last cast-off and her companions, the nanos Allegorn and Calistige, are accosted by some mercenaries. They're looking for a Numenera object that crashed to the ground in the area recently. Just so happens that you are that artifact. From the outset, the player can choose to try a number of different options, all of which have significant consequences on how the fight plays out and in the story later on. Let's start with the head-on approach. My strategy will be targeting the leader of these mercenaries, Koro. As soon as the fight starts, Koro deactivates the light bridges on the platform, trapping them. With Calistige's first turn, she interacts with an object in the environment, attempting a difficult task to activate a psychic effect that will make it easier to hit the enemies for the rest of the encounter. On Allegorn's first turn, he activates his living tattoos, powering up his next attack. He directs that attack right at Koro, adding even more damage via effort. With that, the last cast-off moves in for the kill. As soon as Koro dies, Calistige warns the last cast-off that the device he was using to control the light bridges is overloading. You'll need to complete a series of difficult tasks to shut it down. Each of the remaining mercenaries reacts in their own way. Vilnick switches from support abilities to attacks. Ixa becomes enraged. And Gawain buggers off. Once I get the bridges back up and take care of the remaining enemies, the crisis ends. But that's just one way it can happen. If I hadn't gotten the bridges back up in time, they explode, releasing their pent-up energy and re-engaging the bridges. Your chances of surviving the explosion are not high. But let's say I'd taken another approach and picked off Ixa and Vilnick before going after Koro. Gawain senses where the battle is headed and takes off. Koro's smart, and he knows when he's outmatched, so he offers to surrender. I have options here too. I can accept and we all go our separate ways, shake him down for compensation, or refuse and try to take him out anyway. Let's see if he's got anything good. I'll try to shake him down. Just a handful of shins. I don't think that's enough to buy him his life, so let's kill him anyway. If I don't take him out before his next turn, he'll activate the light bridges and make a break for it. If I'd accepted Koro's surrender, he raises the bridges and we carry on with our journey. Let's take a look at one more tactic I could try. This time, I've gotten partway through the battle when I decide to see what Koro has to say for himself. On Allegorn's turn, I'll try talking to him. Koro doesn't seem to much like Allegorn, but he might be a little afraid of him. I'm going to try intimidation. If I succeed in spooking him, Koro gains a Fettle, our word for status effects, that represents the dismay he feels. It also makes him easier to hit. As we move forward, we'll be making each crisis a handcrafted scenario where we can offer high levels of reactivity, shifting states, and human-feeling AI behaviors in every encounter. There won't necessarily be one best solution in any crisis, and your tools will range from brute strength, to unique Numenera and abilities, to social skills and conversation. All of these will influence the outcomes and let you pick your playstyle. Thanks for joining us!